Do you remember what first inspired you to start making art?
It wasn't nothing. Actually, it was just like I knew that. So I was always painting as a child, and I was always doing creative stuff, and just from big stuff, small stuff. For everybody around me, I was an artist, but for me, I wasn't. So it wasn't like this is one point. I remember that there's one crucial point where I knew that this is it. It was basically I inherited a studio from my old teacher and Andrew Ward, great artist, and he taught me quite a lot. But I and he anyway, but it's a short. He wanted to take his studio back, and I had it then for around 1.5 years that I had it, and I remember this fear of this letting of that I won't have a studio was so big. And I remember I will do everything. I don't care about the studio. I will find another studio. And I remember just really this decision, realizing that this is so vital in my life that I cannot live without it. This is my life and art is my life. But it was just the idea of that being taken away from me was so strong that I realized, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is what I'm doing. And it became very clear for me through the years. So again, it was a dialogue, and it's reminding that this is the first 10 years. So that was an idea. So I was always, I till today, sometimes I try to sneak away from the path and negotiate myself with it, because it's not an easy path, I would say. So but then again, I'm forced either physically because I realize that I get sick, or people just come and say, do that, or and then I feel motivated by that. So yes, it's for me it's a very easy said. It's a matter of life and death. If I don't do art, I to some extent deteriorate, and then I find myself back to that. Yes, so life just
Okay,
very easy, very
very
light.
easy. You touched a little bit on grappling with, well, what is an artist? I suppose the question I actually want to ask is not what is an artist, but what do you think is art?
So for me, art is a method of uniting us. I would say that art is very very close to religion in a certain way, in the basic scheme of stuff. So basically, if we go back to our ancestors, so religion came up because we saw things and then we needed to explain them. Religion was a binder between people. After killing a mammoth, you celebrate the mammoth, and you need to give thanks to something, or you don't understand why there's whatever. But religion came out of explanation, the way I understand it. And art is very, very close to that. So art, for me, the first artists were the shamans, the ritual makers, the weird people out of the side that created stuff. I used to say to my students in the sense that I invented for myself, but it's like the artist looks not where there's antelopes. So the whole tribes looks where there's antelopes, and the antelopes will go, and they will know where the antelopes are, because we need the antelopes to feed ourselves. And the artist will look where there's no antelopes, and they will look. It will look the gap between the tribe and the antelopes. So for me, art is to explain the things that are between us, to explain to look for the unimaginable borders between us and stuff, or to explain us in certain ways. So in a lot of senses, and it's just, and so there's a lot of times where art is a vision. Most of art, I think good art is a certain kind of vision. It's taken from spaces that are not clear, and then you create something out of, and that's the part of magic. So you create a lot of times things out of nothing. There's like and everybody sees it, and it doesn't matter how small or big it is. People understand there's a certain kind of quality to it. It's not entertaining. So this is where it's a different between religion. Religion has to entertain you to a certain point. Art doesn't. Art has to keep you alive. Art has to wake you up. Art has to make you see things differently, or make you raise questions, mature questions, I would say. So, yeah, that's what art is for me, and
Okay.
I try to follow it that way.